Welcome to another episode of An Inside Job, War on Addiction. Not sure what episode this is, either 33 or 34. I'm pretty happy about that. So as always, I want to thank LTV, Jack Cowell, Alan Bradley. Christ, I'm not getting. And Keith, I think that's it. So, Dr. Gabor Mate, who has been inspirational to me with his book, The Realm of the Hungry Ghost, and he works with addicts and alcoholics in Vancouver, Canada, downtown East Side, Rough Part, and the guy's brilliant to me. It just opened up a whole new thing. But anyway, he explains addiction, biological, chemical, neurological, physiological, medical, social, emotional, political, economical, and spiritual. So that's what he explains addiction as, and that's the eye-opening part for me, is that I always knew there was much more, but with all of this stuff, it just makes so much sense to me. So with that, I'm going to welcome Bruce. Bruce, thanks for coming down. Takes a lot of guts. I say that a lot. People come down. It takes a lot of guts. And he said yes in a second. So I don't push anybody. If they say, if they say no, I don't push it at all. But you did, so thank you.
Well,
thank you.
You're welcome, Ron. In these times right now of addiction, the whole opioid epidemic, I'm sorry to say I have experience in all of it. So it's up to us people, I believe, that have been around for a long time, to help these kids out. A lot of them are kids, you know, and even though it affects across the line, if you're human. So, you're welcome. I don't mind doing it at all.
Great. How old are you?
I'm a young 57.
A young 57? Yes, you are. What was it like growing up?
When I grew up in Watertown, Mass, right outside of Boston. I wouldn't change a thing about it, but it was very dysfunctional. I grew up in a housing project, and you don't notice that at the time as a kid. You're just a kid, and you got a bunch of other kids to run around with, and you do what kids do. So there wasn't many tight reins on us, if you understand. So it was a good time, and I look back on it quite frequently.
How many siblings in your family?
There's 4 of us. I got an older brother and 2 older sisters, so I'm the youngest.
Very good. I don't know what that was like, but I was the oldest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a structure there or whatever, how they figure it out.
Yeah.
So I was spoiled.
Yeah. I reigned.
And I was the spoiled one.
Spoiled?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going through that right now with my grandson. Terrible.
According to my other siblings, I was spoiled,
Yeah. How old first drink a drug?
Probably right around 13, if I remember. Other kids were doing it. I was in junior high at the time, and I started drinking and smoking pot right around the same time.
Drinking first or a mix?
No, drinking first.
Yeah.
Drinking first. If you can remember the little ponies, they had little 8-packs of beer. They were like 6 ounces or something like that.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Who made them? What time was it?
Bud Miller.
Yeah.
Mid-70s.
Oh,
early
yeah.
to mid 70s.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the projects in a great time during the 60s,
Yeah.
into the 70s.
Yeah.
So
So no problem getting the booze.
no, no, no. When I say dysfunctional, if you're in one house, the projects are about 100 houses.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So it was wild, to say the least.
Yeah. And it probably had a lot of baggage. In other words, things were put in place. You're 13, somebody's
Right.
buying you booze.
Right.
So,
Well, that's the awkward stage, and I was awkward. I
Yeah.
had, as they speak, all the isms of alcoholism. And, if I had a way to get away from that, that's what I did.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I had a bunch of friends, so it was always, fun and innocent, like a lot of people
Yeah.
start off.
So was it that you want to do what your friends were doing, or some of the older people? Or,
Yeah, at
Yeah.
first, of course,
Yeah.
the peer pressure or whatever. Yeah, sure. I didn't even like the taste of beer, but I liked the effect.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And then I was introduced to other drinks, like for the older folks, Tango, which was a mix of vodka and pre-mixed. Yeah. So that was, and Boone's Farm wine. That was.
All the best.
Yeah. Top shelf.
Top shelf. Right. Right. I remember them both. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So 13. When did you start getting in trouble with it?
Oh, geez. Came in kind of slow, Like I said, we were kind of rambunctious to begin with.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was involved with crime prior to even drinking.
Oh.
So yeah, a bunch of friends, and in the need to get money for whatever.
Right.
I thought I was a big shot with a couple dollars in my pocket.
Yeah.
So, but back to the question, not too long, that it didn't take. Whether it was with my parents or my mom, my dad left, so it was
Yeah.
basically my mom.
So, when did your father leave in your life?
When I was young.
Yeah.
They didn't get along and they got separated.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they went all the way through legal divorce.
Yeah.
They were just separated,
Yeah.
and
So
they
that-
did their best. They did
Yeah,
their best.
yeah. Yeah.
But a lot of kudos to my mom, because
Right.
I had an older brother,
Yeah.
and between the two of us, we were a handful.
Yeah.
My sisters were pretty sublime compared to us.
Right.
So.
Right. Huh.
Yeah, but there was always something going on. When I grew up, I grew up facing what was known as the back parking lot.
Yeah.
And during the 60s, there were bikers that they lived there and they came in, and they were my idols at the time. There
Yeah.
were some fancy bikes out there, and my next door neighbor was a Vietnam vet and a nice guy, but he had a hair trigger. So I would sit out there and just watch these guys, and I
Yeah.
started to emulate them to the best that I could. But
Yeah.
they were much older, so those were like my idols at the time.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. So they're not bad people. They had some nice
Yeah.
looking bikes. They had some nice
Yeah.
looking bikes.
Yeah. So, when was your first arrest? That's what I'm kind of getting.
Oh,
toward.
okay. Yeah. Probably around 16, I'd say. Probably. You
Yeah.
know, probably just protective custody.
So drinking.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was the first
Yeah.
time you got in trouble with booze.
Yeah. Somewhere
Legally
around.
or
Right.
anything else. Okay.
Right.
It-
I found out that there was no off button on me.
Yeah.
I made the transition pretty early with myself.
So explain that people.
Being an alcoholic,
Yeah.
there's, when you when you speak of it, there's this fine line that everybody talks of. A lot of people take the first drink and they cross that line.
Yeah.
You know, some people, like myself, came into it not too slow, but a little slower than others. We all differ. You
Right.
know, we're just people.
Right.
You know, and so I found out that there was no off button. You know, once I started to drink,
Right.
I couldn't stop.
Right.
I couldn't stop
Right.
until I passed out, got sick, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or there was an intervening action.
Right.
So,
How about with Mom?
Mom was a great woman. She was a WAC, World War II.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. My
Wow.
dad was a merchant marine, so yeah. I mean, the projects were initially for veterans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of, so now you can picture of what type of people were in there.
Right.
There was World War II vets.
Right.
There was Vietnam vets. There was a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah.
So, my mom was a resilient, tough
Right.
bird, as they say,
Yeah.
a tough bird, a tough woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. She put up with a lot of stuff.
So you'd come in drunk sometime.
Oh yeah, and of
And-
course, I would try to get by her. You
Yeah.
know, but she would know, and I would pick it up. Either she would come upstairs and rattle my cage and say, "What the heck are you
Yeah.
doing? You know, what are you doing with your life? Blah blah blah." And you know, I had no answers at that time.
When'd you leave home, or what?
I actually left kind of late. I moved out when I was like 24, and
Yeah.
you know, I met a girl, my wife now. You know,
Still, your wife now.
Oh
still?
yeah, yeah. We've
Wow.
been married for almost 30 years.
Ooh,
Yeah,
congratulations.
yeah, thank you, thank you.
I'll have to ask you
She's another.
after this what.
She's another tough woman. She's seen
Yeah?
me. She's seen me during,
Using.
and after. Yes, yes.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, there was an episode when she literally saved my life. I was vomiting in my sleep from drinking and drugging, and she rolled me over and saved my life, literally.
Huh.
So, why she stuck with me, I have no idea. But she's a really
Yeah.
beautiful, nice woman.
Yeah.
Really nice woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I caused a lot of pain with my drinking.
Yeah.
It's going better with forgiving myself. you
Right.
know, leaving the kids and have a father. I was all screwed up.
Yep. Yep.
But it's going good since I did get sober a lot of years ago. It's been a journey for that, and it seems like in the last 2 years, it just kind of left. It was because I think, was it you that were talking about self-loathing? Somebody at the meeting yesterday. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I hated myself.
Oh, yeah.
And it,
Yeah.
it went on even when I was sober. Untreated PTSD
Right.
and
Right.
anyway,
Yeah, they talk about PTSD today, and nothing to take away against any of the veterans, but it seems a little more popular today, you know. And I never
Yeah.
kind of figured. I figured only veterans, only people
Oh,
in
yeah.
wartime got it,
Right.
you know. And then I found out that public servants get it. You know, I got friends.
firemen.
Right, I got friends that
Yeah.
are involved in both, and
Yeah.
they're in treatment getting for that. Plus, I have friends that are actual alcoholics in public.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
So and I wondered if I had it from the stuff that I seen growing up, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So when, I don't know if I asked this already, but when did you say, I got a problem?
Well, there's
I have to look over here just to see. I think he said 11.
Yeah. Well, actually, I had my first B&E. I was 12, and that was before drinking and drugging. That was just peer pressure. Let's go do this, and we wound up doing that, getting some money in my pocket, and I wound up getting caught, and so I was involved in the courts pretty early.
Oh, so it started
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. Actually, I don't believe I went to court for that. We just settled.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So, but I didn't like school, and again, they talk about the isms, and I wasn't too much for school.
Yeah.
So I wound up. My poor mother wound up bringing me to Waltham Court. I grew up in Watertown, as I said, you know, and I was involved in the courts just for schooling, you know. So, you know, I was familiar with the court system. Throughout my drinking career, I wound up, I came into the program pretty early. I came in at age 27, you know.
27.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
It's young.
yeah, I know. And when I came in, I wasn't, say, stupid enough. Once I was involved in the literature and I started reading, and where it says, you know, some people come in, there's like different stages of alcoholics. Some people come in early and are spared the literal hell of the last 12 to 13 years of their life, you know. Of course, I know people that come in their 50s and 60s and even later, you know, and I can't imagine those prolonged years of going through that. So I had my experience. I mean, obviously I did stuff that I never said I was going to do and wound up doing. And, you know, the regret and all of that, how do you deal with that? You keep drinking. You know, you keep burying that stuff down and stuff. And that's just more ammo to drink. You know, but like I said, I didn't like school. I quit school right at 16.
Yeah.
I went to work. I was even involved drinking at work, you know, as a young age. I believe I crossed the line 18, 19. That's when I couldn't stop drinking, when I needed a drink or a high every day.
Yeah.
You know, whether it was pot. At that point, I pretty much smoked pot every day, you know, or hash or anything else that was going around back in the 70s, mid 70s, you know. So, shoot, 75, I was 15, or, you know, so actually 14, born in 1961, so.
Yeah.
On the later stages of the boomers.
So, you got married 24. How long were you with her before that?
No, I got married at, let's see, I got sober at 27 and I married her 2 years after that.
Oh, after you got sober?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was, you know, everybody has their reasons, you know, for staying sober. Obviously the guilt and everything, and I also knew that I found a good woman.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't want to lose her.
Yeah.
And I was lunged into trying to stay sober, you know, without, you know, despite myself, you know. So, you know, so right around 29, I got married.
29.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Huh. So she never had to witness.
She did. Yeah. I lived with her 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Living in sin, as they say.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, it's a little lenient these days, but, you know, yeah. No, so I was with her a good 5 years, and she seen me
So how many years?
at my...
Yeah.
Right
how
at
many years?
Married today?
No, how many years did she have to witness it?
Close to 5, you know.
And she stuck with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She always told me that she knew there was a good guy under that.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I'm grateful today, very grateful.
Yeah.
Strong woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was the type of drunk who would get paid, obviously, on Friday and have no money. It'd be gone, you know, on booze and drugs. And it's hard to obviously pay the rent, so we moved a couple times, you know, and those are things that I wasn't proud of. And living with her brought me to the point of, you know, what am I gonna do? What's going on here? This is no way to go through life. At that point, my friends were going on with careers and stuff, even years before that.
Right.
And, you know, the self-loathing that you were talking about.
Right.
And I had no idea what to do with that. No idea. So I drank, you know. And I worked, but I drank. I drank at work, you know.
Yeah. So you got sober.
Yep.
How did that occur? How did you come in?
All right. After my second DUI.
Okay.
Yeah, they were roughly about a year apart.
Okay.
You know, after my second DUI, I did a 2-week lockup in Waltham.
Okay.
So that's where I was introduced to AA. They had commitments, what's known as commitments. People that come in, share their strength.
Right.
you know, and that's when but the bad thing is I thought after my 2-week lockup, I actually got sober. I stopped drinking probably a week, 2 weeks prior to that.
Okay.
My last episode of drinking was there was me and a bunch of friends, obviously, we're drinking down the park, and I was halfway through like my second tall, and I said to myself, where am I going to be tonight? What's going on? Where am I going to wake up tomorrow morning?
Right.
And I put the beer down and I walked away, and that was September 16th, 1988. So, and I was living with my girlfriend at the time,
Yeah.
who later became my wife.
Yeah.
You know, so I was fearful. I was afraid. How can I continue doing what I've been doing? You know, there was shame, you know, remorse, all the stuff that they talk about. You know, and obviously I had a good woman. You know, what am I going to do? You know, going through jobs every other, you know, 3 years was my typical lifespan on a job. You know, drinking at work and stuff like that. What am I going to do? You know, and obviously, you know, the time came I wanted to marry this woman, and I knew I had to clean up my act, and that's why I said, despite myself, I got sober. You know, and after that 2-week lockup, I said, all right, I was introduced to AA. That's fine. I got it, and I stayed sober for a number of years, but I was dealing with anxiety that was out of control. I used to have panic attacks that were, you know, off the charts, 4 or 5 a day, and I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
You know,
Got,
so
about 5 more minutes, 6 more minutes,
yeah.
whatever. I don't know if we should do another one. We can give it a shot, but anyway, we're not going to stop this now.
Okay. Yeah. So that's, you know, I was seeing a counselor, and he kept telling me about AA, and I said, yeah, I saw that, and I did that, and he, you know, like it's done over in 2 weeks, you know, and so
That was in jail.
no,
No.
I didn't go to jail. I've never been in prison. But
Okay.
I was seeing a counselor
Oh,
because
okay.
my head was messed
Yeah.
up from not drinking.
Right.
You know,
Ah.
I dried out on my own pretty
Right.
much, you know, and it's not recommended. But, you know, so he kept advising me to go to AA.
Yeah.
And I eventually did. And that's when my journey started, back in around the early to mid 90s.
Okay. And it's been right through till now?
Close.
Yeah.
Close. I had a small disruption in 2015.
Yeah.
I had 25 years clean and sobriety, nothing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had surgery on my neck. I'm sorry if I just made a noise there. I had surgery on my neck, and the thing is I was going to AA religiously.
Really?
Oh yeah, I was active.
You don't
I went on
find that too
commitments.
much
No.
when somebody goes out.
Right. Well, back then, I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then I got to move from Watertown out, and I moved to Townsend.
Yeah.
And I got myself busy in AA in Townsend, but I never felt that click that I had in Waltham and Watertown.
Right.
So I slowly backed off. And when I had my surgery, I didn't have what they call my AA armor on. I didn't have no system, no network of people to call when I was in trouble.
Right.
So I wasn't attending meetings. They gave me my first painkiller, which was Vicodin, and you know, the mortgage, the kids, all that went out the window when I took more.
How many kids, by the way?
Two kids. Yeah. My son Jake, who's 21, and my daughter Jasmine, who I believe is 27. Sorry, Jasmine.
They still home?
No, my daughter's married. My son is home.
Yeah.
My son Jake is home. My daughter's married, and
Good.
she took off. Yeah.
Yeah?
She's doing great. She's
Yeah.
doing fantastic.
Good girl. No
Yeah.
problem.
No.
You were there for her whole life.
Sober, both of them.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
They never seen you drunk.
No, never seen me drunk. Never seen the circus. You know, so I'm grateful for that. But, you know, I was introduced to the painkillers 2015, and I loved them. I forgot what they did to me. It was 25 years.
What was your drink and drug of choice back then? Just drug of choice, let's
Sure,
say.
my drug of choice was alcohol.
Okay.
It seemed I could walk away from anything else. You know, pot, everything.
Heroin?
I didn't do heroin. I never did heroin,
Okay.
and I thank God for that.
Yeah.
You know, but acid, you know, the painkillers, ludes were around back then. You know, a lot of cocaine, ton
Yeah.
of cocaine, and with a bunch of friends around that, you know, let's just say marketed it.
Yeah.
It was always available. I loved it, but again, I could walk away from that, and I don't understand why. But alcohol, I couldn't. Once I started, all
Yeah.
bets are off.
Yeah.
All bets are off.
And how much did you know about AA at this time?
When I slipped,
Uh,
or back when I was active,
yeah, when you were active.
nothing, none, knew nothing about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
same as me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and that began, if I don't misunderstand.
1988.
Yeah,
Yeah.
88.
I was 27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and I'm grateful that I didn't go on all those years. I'm extremely grateful that I didn't. You know?
Yeah.
And that's a problem because when you're that young, you're asking yourself, I can't be an alcoholic. I'm only 27. You know.
Right.
But I believe I fit it.
Yeah.
Believe I had all the qualifications.
Yeah. We can talk next round about what's keeping you sober
Yeah.
and all that.
Yep. My early
Yeah.
AA,
Yeah.
people I got involved
Right.
with. Sure.
So, let's wrap this up. Hey, Jack.
Hi, Ron.
So that's another one.